Andrew, I've been reading on the blog, and here's a quote. The Bureau of Labor Statistics found that worker productivity has declined for 5 straight quarters and is falling at its fastest rate in 75 years. Then it says Gallup's State of the Workplace found that 47% of all U.S. employees will be looking for new jobs in the coming year. That equals nearly half of the U.S. prime working-aged workforce, even after the great resignation of the past few years. So put those two together. How does Red Balloon help solve this problem?
Yeah, well, obviously part of the problem is people are looking for happiness, and obviously we know they need Jesus, right? Just straight up, right? There it is. But I think that's part of the reason people, they see their vocation, they see their job as an opportunity to feel meaning in life. And the reality
that's biblical.
And it is. It is. Absolutely.
Work is created by God. If you don't work, you should not eat.
That's right. That's right. And so, but they're struggling with this because it is ineffective. It is divisive. And so they're in these workplaces. And think about it like this. If all of your staff here spent all their time or a vast majority of their time working on something other than work, how would the business do? Well, you'd be a frustrated boss and you'd go out of business, right? And so what is happening with these businesses is they're focused on something that has nothing to do with their business, right? We talked about Silicon Valley Bank, but there's so many examples of this. You know, we talked about the $8 billion that's spent. That's just spent on the trainers for DEI, not the lost productivity, not the demoralization of the workforce that you're putting all those people through. So that's where redballoon.work comes in. We said, look, we want employers to be able to live in a free society where they can hire the best people and not have to worry about those things. And we want employees to be able to succeed based on their own merits, not based on their skin color, who their parents are, any of these other things.
And match their skills to the job requirements rather than we have to promote someone of this skin color into this job. Well, that person could be miserable if they can't actually accomplish in that job.
That's right. And I've fired many, I've hired thousands of employees, I've fired people. And often when you let someone go because they weren't good at their job, they're grateful later because they're miserable. When you are in a job where you're not happy, you can't feel fulfilled. And so if you're hiring someone based on skin color or based on any of these other criteria that are protected categories, that's going to hurt you. Now, I will tell you, for small businesses in America, hiring is terrifying because if you go into that interview process, if you ask the wrong questions, you might get a lawsuit.
Right.
But if you don't ask those questions, you might get a bad culture fit, then get a lot of heartache, and then get a lawsuit.
Right.
And so I will tell you the number of businesses I've talked to through Red Balloon who are just terrified of that hiring process. So here's what we do. So we are a job board. In other words, you can go post jobs. You can look at our resume database, which is really the largest resume database of job-seeking patriots in the world. So you can do that. Or what we started for a number of our smaller businesses, they said, can you just take over this hiring process for us? Because you've done it before, we have a labor lawyer on staff, we can take care of this for you. So what we'll do for a small business is we'll come in, we'll help you write a job posting, we'll do a comp review, we will help you think about the hiring process, we'll build an interview rubric based on the cultural distinctives you want to try and accomplish. Then we'll go and post that job multiple places, we'll direct source people for you, and then we'll do a first cultural interview for you to make sure that that person's going to be a skill fit and a culture fit for your business. Now, you could find a recruiter that might do a lot of these things, and you're going to pay $20,000 to $40,000 if you do that, if you go down that route. And so what I did is I said, okay, what would I want as an employer? I want to know that I have a fixed cost, I don't have a weird perverse incentive, I want to focus on getting the right people in the door so I can just focus on my work. So we charge a flat $4,500 for us to do this entire process. And we've helped fill positions for Electric Mirror, which is in Seattle. Great company.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
Christian Employer Alliance.
Yep, Christian Employer Alliance. And, they had a VP of Inside Sales position open for 15 months that they could not fill because it was so critical that it be a aligned, values-aligned, Christian in that position. And so we were able to fill that position in 6 weeks for them for a flat $4,500. And so we want to bring this kind of concierge, white glove hiring process from someone you can trust culturally to these small businesses. So everything from a small Texas radio station to some very large businesses are now trusting us with this hiring process. And you know it's only going to cost you that much, and you're going to get enormous market intelligence. Every single week you're going to get a report, how many people we talked to, what they said, if they said, I would be interested in this job, except, well, that's market intelligence that you can't get otherwise. And so it has been so fun to just come alongside all of these conservative businesses, and there are a lot of them in America, who would actually like to get a values-aligned employee, and we can kind of come alongside and check that box for them. So anyway, that's how we work with employers, the job posting, where we can actually take over that hiring process. And it is honestly the most fulfilling. I've run a lot of businesses, ones with hundreds and hundreds of employees before. This has got to be the most fulfilling work that I'm doing, because I'm able to come alongside this freedom economy with lots of people who don't believe the crazy woke stuff, but they don't know where to go. And we've been able to give them an outlet, great employees, and it's just been really, really fun.